Hello, welcome to Wellness in Every Season. Today we are talking about manifestation and so much more. And I am on with Elizabeth Plancon. This is episode 91. And can you please introduce yourself and then introduce what manifestation is to you? I know that you wrote a book, so we'll be diving into that in a little bit.
Yeah, and so thank you so much for having me. Like you said, I'm Elizabeth Plancon, and I am an intuitive mentor, healer, activator, specializing in manifestation, mindset, spirituality. And I really have this to help others really step into their true purpose, their true power, their true potential while creating, aka manifesting the life of their dreams. Manifesting is really something that we do all the time. And I think there is a big misconception that it is something that you have to do, right? When you realize that we're always manifesting, we're always creating our current reality and our experiences, manifesting with intention is how do manifestation, if we want to say it in those terms. So really becoming aware of your thoughts, becoming aware of your emotions, your actions, so that you can manifest the things that you desire into your reality.
Can you give me some examples and then give me the difference between manifesting and affirmations, maybe how they work together if they do?
Yeah, sure. Say, for example, you want to manifest money, right? That's usually like an example we like to give because a lot of people, that's what most people want to manifest when we talk about manifestation. A lot of people, right? They want to manifest more money. And so they will say, I want to manifest more money so I can get out of debt, or I want more money because I'm broke. And so, really, what you're doing is it's like you're counteracting the essence of bringing in more money because what are you affirming to be true? You're affirming that you're in debt and that you're broke. And so that's what you're going to continue to experience and you're going to continue to bring into your current reality because your subconscious mind is what moves your body and forces you to take action and how you react and respond to things. Also, what you're putting out there into the universe is what you're putting off is what you're getting back. And so your subconscious mind and the universe, whether you want to say God, spirit, source, universe, they use them all interchangeably. It doesn't judge, right? It doesn't know the difference between good and bad and what you actually want. It's what you are focusing on that the universe thinks is what you want. So if you are continuously focusing on your debt, right? I want to get out of debt. The universe is like, oh, we're focusing on debt now. So we're going to get rid of that because it thinks that's what you want. But really, and that's when you're not realizing what you're actually manifesting and creating by paying attention to what you're focusing on and what kind of language you're using. Because really, what you want is financial freedom. You want that feeling of not having this burden of debt, which I can get to a little bit more later, that not all debt is bad, right? And we put a negative connotation around debt, and that's a limiting belief and a social thing, right? But anyway, you put meaning to everything, right? So you decide that's bad, but you're focused so much on it. And so that's what you keep recreating instead of the financial freedom, which is what you actually want, is that feeling of being able to not have that worry, not have that stress, or be able to do the things when you want to. And so that's what you want to be focusing on is that financial freedom and feeling what would it feel like if you were in financial freedom? What would you be doing with your life? What are the experiences you'd be having? Does that make sense? Does that answer the question?
So that is where the affirmations part comes in, where you're really visualizing and getting all your senses in tune with what being debt free would feel like, the relief, the open
Yeah.
space, like that type of thing.
So affirmations, I use them and I tell my clients to use them. Definitely they're helpful. The thing with affirmations is really connecting to the feeling of that thing you were affirming because the feeling is a secret, right? It is what happens is with manifestation or creating a reality is it starts with a thought. And that thought, what it does is you give meaning to it. It's either good or bad, or you attach a feeling to it. And that feeling goes into your subconscious body, in your subconscious mind, I'm sorry, and is emitting a vibrational frequency. And so that's why your emotions are so important to pay attention. So when you are affirming something, we want to look at how do you actually feel when you're affirming that and what is the feeling of that emotion and actually take some time to feel it. So if you want to affirm that you want to build your confidence, so you just start, I am confident, I am confident, I am confident over and over again, but you're not actually taking time to feel confident and maybe do things that would make you feel confident, it really is going to not really shift your energy to the state of where it needs to be in order to be confident. right? And going back to the money example where you can say, I am in financial freedom or I am abundant. What does it feel like to be abundant to you? And it doesn't always have to be about money. Abundance can be just having an abundance of so many beautiful things to be grateful for because in being in that state, because if you're, like I said, when you're paying attention to your language and you're like, oh God, I'm broke, that's an affirmation and you feel broke. So that's what I mean by connecting to the feeling when you're using your affirmations for what it is that you want to affirm to be true about your life.
And does that help bring manifestation a little further?
I think what it does is it helps you be able to create your reality. It helps you create with intention rather than passively create your reality. Because like I said earlier, we're always creating our current existence, like our current experience and based on our perception. And so what it does is you begin to perceive things in a different way. You begin to feel a different way and the universe responds by sending you things to feel more of that way. And so if you are affirming, I am so grateful for my life, what is right now, the universe is receiving this energy of being in gratitude. And they're like, oh, okay, we're in gratitude now. We're going to send them more things to be in gratitude about. We're going to continue to keep sending them more things to feel abundant about. So that's how it works with the universe responding to you and the emotional state you're in and what you're doing. And you can bring in more things that way faster rather than just being in this passive state and just saying, okay, I'm just going to take what I'm focusing on right now and not really being aware of where your focus is.
And for my wellness community, so I focus on the 8 dimensions of wellness. And I was just thinking, this works for any of the dimensions. You can manifest better wellness in any area that you need help in.
Their
And
health,
for
yeah.
most people, I'm sure they either start with their health or finances. Those are really the first two big ones. So that is amazing to think about because we want to become our best selves.
Yes.
But sometimes we get lost in how to do that. And if we are spending time just starting with being grateful, like you said, is a great place to start because there is science that shows us if we are looking for and affirming certain things and trying to manifest certain things, our brain will be looking for those things rather than I'm in debt. So I really liked those examples. Can you tell us about your journey? I'm sure that this started with some kind of struggle because that's usually where we start.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't in a huge struggling state, like it was traumatic, but what started my journey was I was just doing what I thought I was supposed to do with my life, right? Like I was always told it wasn't if you go to college, it's what college are you going to? And then you think you're supposed to go to college, meet the person and get married and have the kids and have the perfect house and the job. So I did all those things. And don't get me wrong, like I love being a mother, right? I love being a wife and I love my family, but I felt like there was a piece missing. There was this bigger purpose for me that I was supposed to be here and doing. And so really I began my quest of search of, okay, what is that thing? What is that bigger purpose? And I found my manifestation and mindset mentor and I had dabbled in, found out about it, and it wasn't really working. It wasn't really changing anything in my life. We were in debt. We had credit card debt. Probably like once a month, I would freak out about money. How are we ever going to do the things we want to do in life or move into a bigger house or whatever it was? I was the kind of person that was like, I want to speak to your manager if I didn't get my way, but just always I felt on edge, right? And just never truly happy like with my current situation all the time. There was always this yearning for more. And now there's nothing wrong with wanting more, but it wasn't spending any time being grateful for what I had. And so when I found the mindset and manifestation material and that information, it completely changed my life. Like even in the way that I would react with my kids and my husband, instead of flying off the handle or being stressed out about certain things, I can come and now respond in such a more calm and collective way where I'm actually helping them learn emotional intelligence as well. Teaching my kids about, the younger one would always say, she made me mad or she is making me feel this way, and teaching them you have a choice to not feel that way. You can decide whether to walk away or diffuse the situation or not be mad. And she's even picked it up now where she's turned it out back on me when I'm human, right? Like I have those mom moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, you're frustrating me so much right now. You're really making me mad. And she says, I'm not making you mad. You don't have to be mad. I'm like, oh, you got me. But it's so good because I'm teaching them at a young age how to be aware of their emotions and how they can be in charge of them and decide to continue on in this spiral of emotions that don't feel good, or they can decide to let them go and change their perspective, right? My journey was really just feeling this greater purpose of helping people in some way, and began to exploring and finding those things that lit me up that I'm passionate about. And I found this material, and I just knew that I had to help others, really wanted to help others change their lives as well as I have. I'm no longer that way. I'm out of judgment. I used to be that person who would probably sit there and judge people walking down the street or whatever. And not that I'm proud to admit it, but it's just how I was raised and the society I grew up in. And I no longer do that. And money is different in my life. Abundance is different in my life. So many things have manifested, and I don't worry. That's a big part of me. I used to worry about everything. I don't worry anymore when things don't go exactly according to plan or how I would have loved them to be. That's just a little bit of the journey of how I got here and how I continue to work through it all the time.
A lot of it was changing your mindset. Sounds like that changed your heart.
Yeah.
What else would you say changed along your journey?
Just I guess my ability in looking inward and what I'm creating and what I'm willing to take into my life, right? I think there's a lot of people that just go along with the motions of every day and do the same old, but now I do everything with such big intention, like intention and being present in the moment, and also not allowing outside factors to affect my inner being, right? Like the things that are going on in the world or other people's problems, or even my spouse's emotions used to really affect a lot, and they no longer do. If he's having a rough day, I can come from a neutrality place rather than getting all worked up with him as well, or worked up because he's worked up, and you know what I mean? So there's just so much more peace and contentment and beautiful things that on my life now.
So you're changing your perspective. And through that, you're realizing that facts are facts, but it's the emotions that we decide to attach to what's happening.
100%. Yeah. You get to decide if something is good or bad, or it just is, right? And then you can decide how you feel about those things. Perception is huge in the mindset work.
Tell us that with debt. 'Cause you said that there can be good debt in
Yeah,
here.
sure. As a society, we have put debt in this really negative, overbearing, or like overwhelming thing, right? Like it's bad to have debt. And there's good debt, right? Good investments that people say, like a house or things, you can build money on and everything like that. And as far as those that are in credit card debt, and this is something that my mentor made me realize too when I was in that debt, like giving gratitude to have the ability to obtain the things that you needed or desired when you wanted them. Getting a little woo here, more spiritual. I use the word God a lot, and I believe that God made these ideas to help us, right? So God created everything in this world, right? So God created credit cards and in credit, right? And debt. And it comes from this place of love. So we can be supported and, have those things that we need. So taking away this negative connotation for it, just that it's not always bad, knowing fully with this belief that eventually you will pay it back, you will pay it off, because you have it when you need it, right? And then not trying, but like believing that the money will come in to get you back to ground zero if that's what you would like, right? But also being okay with it and knowing that it's temporary, believing it's temporary. And there's always solutions where you're always going to be okay. These are the beliefs that I have cultivated and that I hold to be true to help me take away that negative feeling about the debt that I had, that it was for a reason. It helped me get the things that I needed when I maybe wasn't bringing in the actual cash, right? Which is just a tool. It's a form of energy. So is credit. It's a form of energy. And so it's there to help you rather than be a bad thing against you. Does that make sense?
So it's a form of energy, both of these, and
Yeah.
we're attaching our emotions to it for
Mm.
the credit and the money. There was something else I was going to ask. Okay, so for the people who are more skeptical of what you were saying, talk to them for a minute and then tell me how that, or start here, whichever direction you want to go, how this mindset shift helped you.
Yeah, it comes down to having faith in believing, for me, in a higher power, right? Whatever that higher power is for you. Like I said, whether if you believe in just the universe or God or source, spirit, whatever it is, for me, it's about having faith in a higher power that is, I am always divinely guided, supported, and I will always be okay. And going to the place of that everything always works out for me. That is another belief that I affirm, right? Everything everything always works out for me and it doesn't happen to me. That's a belief that some people really do have a hard time, especially if they've been through really difficult things like trauma, right? And it can be hard to see it, why these things are happening for you when, especially like they were not comfortable things. They are really bad things, right? But you may never know why these happen for you. But I truly believe that everything happens for a reason, even if we don't know what it is. So maybe there is a reason that you're in debt right now. I don't know what it is. You may not know what it is, but what are you trying? What is the lesson here? What is it trying to teach you? Is it trying to teach you financial responsibility, right? Is it trying to teach you to understand how to budget your money? Or is it trying to teach you to just be more open and free, right? And not to worry as much, right? There's so many different things that these things can be teaching you here. And what was the second part of the question?
First of all, what came to mind is for some people, they are trying to fill a need.
Yeah.
What need are you trying to fill? Is you didn't have a lot growing up, so you're trying to make up for it now. There's so many. Sky's the limit on that. The other part is how did this change in mindset help you? And you said you were able to pay off credit card debt through
Yeah.
this shift.
Because I focused on what it is that I would love to experience in my current reality with the belief that it was going to happen for me, that it was possible. That's the thing, is believing in the unseen. So I think really, for going back to the faith act, looking at times where you believed in something that would happen for you, that it was unknown, or believing, like for instance, you believe in gravity, right? Even though you can't see it, it's there. But when can you look in your life when something has happened to you that you didn't know for certain it was going to work out, but it did work out? Or when do you experience things where you just have this knowing that whatever it is, like knowing, for instance, that the pizza is going to come when you deliver it, and letting go of the how. That's, I think, a big part too, is letting go of how these things are going to work out. And that was a big part for me in this mindset shift, right? Just trusting and believing and focusing on the positive in my life rather than focusing on the negative all the time, right? We want to focus on a lot of times when you go out with your friends or your girlfriends, you might find it's like this complaint fest, right? Everyone's complaining about the world or their spouses or their families or being a mom or all the things. You would look at the negative things instead of focusing on the positive. So if we can shift our mindset to focusing on the positives, your world will completely change. At least that's what happened for me, right? When I stopped focusing on the things that I didn't love in my life, because then you're just affirming it, you want more of those things again, going back to that, right? You just want more of those things. So that's how the mindset shift really helped change my life. And it allowed me to manifest things like instantly. So I'll give you an example. We had our hot water heater went out one day, and the old me would have freaked out, would have been like, oh my gosh, how are we going to pay for this? We don't have the money in the bank. We're going to have to put this on the credit card. All the things start spiraling, like just, why is this happening to me? But instead, I was able just to come from neutrality and believe and truly trust it'll be fine. The money will show up. We'll figure it out. Let's just call the plumber. Let's get this taken care of. No big deal. We'll be fine. It will all work out. And literally 2 hours later, my boss called me and said, hey, I forgot to give you this bonus from a couple months ago, so I'm going to send it to you right now. And literally the money was there for the hot water heater plus more in a matter of hours, just because I knew it was going to show up. I knew it. And I trust and believed it. You know what I mean? So that's just, if you don't have a story where something has happened to you that you believed it was going to be okay, use my evidence as a belief in how powerful our minds really are.
I was thinking about, and I had a situation recently where there's a friend of mine and she went on one negative thing and then it just lit her up and she just started going on all this other stuff and I had to walk away. She was talking to some other friends. I'm like, I won't be missed. I'm just going to go over here for a little bit, because you can tell there's an energy shift. And if you're the one doing it, you will feel it. Stop.
You feel it in your body.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you start to feel your emotional state just like lower and just be like, oh, this does not feel good. Like it's a world of difference when you stop focusing on the negative instead of the positive, even just feeling the energy within your body. And it's the same thing with health and wellness too, right? If we're focusing on all the time how unwell we are or how much we don't love our bodies or fear of getting sick, right? those things are going to continue to manifest in your life. But if you truly believe that you're going to be okay, and if say you're going through an illness right now, I myself am dealing with chronic issues that I'm finally taking control of and trying to heal, and focusing on the regeneration of your body, right? Or loving your body for how it is now at every stage as you progress towards moving and doing it for these reasons of health and wellness. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Yeah.
So even if it's not what we want it to be, it's still better than nothing.
Yeah.
I sound like I'm
Yeah.
in there. Then you get nothing.
Exactly. It's this or nothing. So be happy with what you have now. I love that.
Yeah, and you're right. The debt, it still gave us this house, even though we have a mortgage. So I like the whole idea. So I see this book in the corner of the screen. Tell me about this book.
Yeah, so I co-wrote the book Manifesting with Purpose, Aligning to Your Soul's Desires with 3 other friends of mine who are manifestation mindset coaches as well. And we really wanted to create an easy introduction to mindset and manifestation work. And so there's 9 different chapters in there, and each of us wrote 2 chapters. We all co-wrote the last one. What I love about this book is it takes you through this step-by-step process, shifting your mindset and learning about manifestation. And at the end of each chapter, we have a chapter in practice where it's asking you questions and giving you journal prompts so you can actually take away the material that we're writing about in the book and embodying it into your life and applying it rather than just reading a book and say, okay, I'm going to put it on a shelf over here and do nothing with it. Because I've done that before when I've read plenty of books and just, okay, that was a nice read, but you don't do anything about it. So this is to really help you actually implement what we are teaching you. And we talk about faith, we talk about positive mindset, we talk about courage, and so much more in there. We really love doing it.
I think there's such a difference in books that have the journaling prompts and books that don't for me as well. That's why I was shaking my head. Yes, yes, I'm glad you did that. It makes
Yes.
a big
Yeah.
difference. And then if you want to make it even deeper, make a book club around it. Get some
Yeah.
friends to join you so you can have that discussion.
Book clubs. I've done those for years.
Okay, is there anything that we missed? I'm just looking at our outline that we made together. Definitely wanted to talk about the book. I was excited about that one. Let's see. How can we find you and where can we find your book?
So I'm on socials under my name, Elizabeth Plancon, my website.com, and our book is on Amazon. We also have a companion journal that goes along with it. If you are not someone that actually likes to write in a journal, sometimes people I started off with my manifestation and mindset journal of actually writing in one. You can do this in a notebook or you can do it in a journal. Is you list 5 things you're grateful for that you have in your life every day. And this is really going to help raise your vibration immediately, giving you this good feeling of feeling abundant because you have things in your life to be grateful for now. And this can be as simple as clean water or a cup of coffee or money in the bank, whatever it is, and it can change every day. And then we have a goal. We have a place for a goal. So goal setting in the manifestation world is popular because you want something to work towards, right? Like a desire. You want to actually allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to dream and imagine what are the things that I would love to bring into my life and experience, right? Because we are here to grow and expand in this lifetime. And if we're not expanding, then you're honestly, and I hate this might sound harsh, but this is what Bob Proctor used to say is you're dying because you're not allowing yourself to expand fully and continuing to grow. And you grow through challenges, right? And so that's why working on something towards something, a desire where you don't know really how it's going to happen is a beautiful way for you to expand. Long explanation for writing a goal, but writing something, and it could be a money goal, it could be an experience, how much money you want to make every year or every month. Just writing that down every day, bring that into your awareness because remember what you focus on, you create. So we want to bring that into our mind every day. And then we also have a place for affirmations, but you don't have to go crazy with affirmations. You don't have to write 5 or 10, 20 affirmations a day. Pick 5 really good ones that feel good for you. And when you are writing affirmations, remember everything is in the present tense, right? So as you already have it and you already are that now. So I'm so grateful that I, am an abundant leader of a women's group, whatever, or I'm confident. I have vibrant health and wellness. My body is whole, whatever it is that you want to affirm, write it as it's already happened for you. And then you can also write down little goals. I used to write down my main goal, which was a monetary goal. And then then I would write down little things I wanted to happen, such as my house. We were manifesting our dream home. So I would write down every day, I'm so happy and grateful now that I live in our dream home on 1+ acres of land, and I would put it by a certain date. So different things you're manifesting in your life, you can write down then too. That's what we have space for in our journal, and it explains in the journal all how to do these things.
Perfect. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, it's in the corner right by her shoulder, and it
Yes.
matches her shirt and the picture
I like
behind her.
blue. And it's funny because we co-designed the cover, right? So it wasn't even like my choice. Everyone chose those colors together. And I was like, works for motif.
Yeah, it does. I'm like, are you sure you didn't choose all of it? And they said yes. Anyway, perfect. It sounds like you are on social media, and then the book is, are there any other ways to work with you?
Yeah, so I have single sessions. I have a monthly membership. It's called Light Up Your Life. And it basically is where there's 2 calls a month where you can get live hot seat coaching from me, mentorship on pretty much anything dealing with mindset, manifestation, spirituality, and really focusing also stepping into your purpose. I do activations as well, which are like meditation. And like I said, I do single sessions. I have longer container coaching as well for those that are really wanting to step into their purpose, activate themselves in their life's purpose, and helping and serving others.
So perfect. If any of this spoke to you, check out her work. And how do you spell your last name for those that are going to be searching while still listening before they get to the show notes?
Yes, definitely. So it's P is in Peter, Lan is in Nancy, C is in Charlie, O-N. I'm so used to spelling like that when I'm on the phone.
Yep, I have to spell my first name. Most people don't know how to spell the season autumn. You never know.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you, because there are so many times where I've been listening and I did not have a chance to go back and look at show notes. And I'm like, I can't find their name and I'm trying to Google them or whatever. So thank you for doing that. And thanks for being on here. This was very fun to talk about. And I just love talking about this type of stuff. And I love that it hits every area of wellness. You can
Yes.
talk to her and get the help that you need, and she will be helping any area.
For sure. Anything you want to manifest, it is possible, whether it be relationship, health, finances, purpose, you name it.
Awesome. Thank you. Remember to take time to heal, relax, and be present. Next week, we will be talking about why everybody needs a mentor. See you there. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode. I am your host, Autumn Carter, a certified life coach dedicated to empowering individuals to rediscover their identity, find balance amidst chaos, strengthen relationships, and pursue their dreams. My goal is to help people thrive in every aspect of their lives. I hope today's discussion inspired you and offered valuable insights. You can work one-on-one with me or on demand through one of my programs by visiting wellnessinEverySeason.com. Stay engaged in our wellness community by signing up for my newsletter.com/free-resources. When you join, you'll have the option to receive a 5-day guide called Awaken and Unwind, 5 days to mastering your mornings and evenings, along with free guides, special offers on my programs, practical tips, personal stories, and much more. So sign up and share it with others. I put a lot into it, and that's where you will find me showing up the most. Don't miss these valuable resources designed to help you thrive in every area of wellness in every season of life. Join today and start your journey to wellness in every season. Your shares, subscriptions, and reviews for this podcast help us reach more people seeking empowerment. So please spread the word about our podcast. Thank you for being a part of our podcast community, and I look forward to continuing our conversation, sharing stories, and exploring wellness in all its aspects. One last thing to cover the show legally. I am a certified life coach and a certified parenting coach, giving general advice. I have a bachelor's in applied health, so I use that for the wellness aspect. So think of this more like a self-help book. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes. I am not a licensed therapist, so this podcast shouldn't be taken as a replacement for professional guidance from a doctor or therapist. Because I don't know you personally, I'm not offering you personal advice. This is very general. If you want personal one-on-one coaching, go to my website, wellnessinEverySeason.com. That's where you can get personalized coaching from me or you. I will see you in next week's episode. Bye. One last thing to cover this show legally. I am a certified life coach giving general advice. So think of this more like a self-help book. This podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed therapist, so this podcast shouldn't be taken as a replacement for professional guidance from a doctor, therapist, or any other qualified expert. If you want personal one-on-one coaching from a certified coach, go to my website at wellnessinEverySeason.com. That's where you can get personalized coaching from me. See you in next week's episode.